Getting in had not been easy. I needed to stay to pursue the investigation. Father...
Yes, my child.
So, did you travel far to visit the exhibition?
No journey is too long when there is evil at the end of it.
So you really didn't see anything distinctive about the killer?
No, my dear. I was more concerned with the poor soul who lost his life.
Do you know anything else about Henri?
Only that we should pray for his soul.
So why do you think the painting is evil?
There are some things it is best you do not know, my child.
I guess you don't know who the artist was.
I have no idea, but I do know he was playing with fire.
This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest didn't appear to know anything. At least now the place was a little tidier. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. That wasn't worth trying. Monsieur Lane?
My dear?
Anything else you can tell me about the painting?
It wasn't particularly valuable compared to some of the other works on display.
Could you tell me more about the theft?
If you insist. The whole thing was too ghastly.
So you and Georges have been getting along?
No, I wouldn't say that, my dear.
Father Simeon says that the painting is evil.
The priest is a lunatic. La Malediccio is a painting, and a painting cannot be evil.
So I guess you'll miss Henri.
There is already an Henri-shaped hole in my heart, madame.
So you didn't see anything that might help identify the murderer?
I'm afraid not.
Do you have any idea who might have tampered with the alarm?
None at all, I'm afraid.
Did I show you my press card?
You did, my dear.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. Lane had nothing to offer. Inspector.
Yes?
Do you really think this is a cut-and-dried case?
En effet, cut, dried, sealed, and delivered.
Do you know anything about La Malediccio?
It is a painting. It was stolen. Point?
Are you certain you don't want to investigate the alarm?
Unless you can show me new evidence, then please leave me to my work.
So you don't think the CCTV footage is useful?
I prefer a more visceral approach to the crime scene.
So you think Georges is a suspect?
As I said, I am not often wrong about such things, but I have already said too much.
Have you seen that stain on the floor by the door? What do you think it is?
I don't have time to waste discussing domestic hygiene. Please, leave me to my work.
Are you sure you don't want to say anything?
Please, keep your little card away from me.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. Poor guy. The bust was striking. Georges,
Yeah, Nico.
so why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So, what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Georges. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office door. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave. Not without getting into more trouble anyway. If it hadn't been for the body, I would have enjoyed looking at the paintings. I couldn't use this painting to The painting was La Malédiction by an artist named Serpent in 1937. It was the alarm for the painting that had been stolen. Nice use of color. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. It was a very attractive piece. I still had nothing new to tell Ronnie. I was going to have to do some investigating of my own. There was no point in calling Georges while he was so close. Georges,
Yeah, Nico.
you said you needed to get into the office?
And you said you were going to create a distraction.
Nice use of color. Nice price tag. Nice use of color. A CCTV camera watched over the room. It was a very attractive piece. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave, not without getting into more trouble anyway. Nice use of color. At least now the place was a little tidier. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever going to. It was a blob of chewing gum, probably carried in on somebody's shoe. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobbart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. I had no reason to search the desk again. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. The street was quiet. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri sure liked his clutter. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a 4-digit number. pair of evil eyes. I had no reason to search the desk again. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri sure had his quirks. Henri hadn't set them. I needed to find a 4-digit number. I needed to find a 4-digit number. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The completion note from Vera's security. There was an address. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I realized I might have missed something from the earlier shots. That was the most recent image. That was the most recent image. Whoever was wearing that helmet was going to pay for what he did. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. Poor Henri. The next shot had a better view of the writing on his helmet. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted. Whoever was wearing that helmet was going to pay for what he did. A logo. Poor Henri. This frame caught the moment the killer took the painting. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malediccio from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. There I was, looking at the exhibition. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. That shot must have been before anyone else arrived at the gallery. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. That was the earliest shot with anything interesting on it. Poor Henri. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system. Whoever was wearing that helmet was going to pay for what he did. The alarm should have sounded when the killer... That was me fiddling with the alarm. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting. Not my best idea. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. The phone was vintage. I had no reason to search the... It didn't look like there was anything important. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it. It was a battered sofa. I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. I might not get another chance to look around. It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. The secret compartment was open. There was no need to manhandle Henri any further. It was a cheesy lava lamp. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? To kill for. I put it to you, Monsieur. Monsieur
Stobbart. George Stobbart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobbart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobbart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh? Pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobbart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La maledicción.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Maledicción is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Georges?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea. Paris sure had a lot of similar-looking cafes. Tony's Brasserie. Looked expensive. Parisian spring fashion. Reminds me why I love this city. I recognize the name Sasha from the charges listed in Henri's credit card letter. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked.
Yes. Who is it?
Excuse me, madame. This is George Sтоббарту. Could I talk to you?
George, what?
George Sтоббарту, madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, did they have all this? I don't want to buy insurance.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you? This isn't a good time. I am so distraught.
Madame, Right. Now that hadn't achieved much. I decided not to call her again quite so soon. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security.
Please don't touch the sign. You'll just make it worse.
Hi! I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Vera's security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank you. The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners. Used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
Smell this.
Oof. At least it's the real thing.
Do you have any use for nail clippers?
No.
Bassam had already told me where Vera's security was. I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing. I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. Now only half the sign was illuminated. The buzzing and flashing has stopped.
And I am very grateful. But the sign still looks pretty terrible, doesn't it? When you're building a brand from the ground up, name is everything. I need a name that makes my customers long for adventure and treasures from faraway places.
I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You're like a genie from a magic lamp.
Tell me about your business idea.
This stall is going to put me through college while giving me field experience. But the nonsense sign is working against me. It should spell a name for my shop. I need something original, yet familiar, bright and in your face, yet subtle and symbolic.
I decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was, he wouldn't be happy.
Help!
What's wrong?
There's a monster
What? Where?
on the floor. Get rid of it.
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach. Help!
Come here, little fella. I was never going to catch it with my bare hands. There were crumbs on the floor. No wonder the cockroach was sticking around. That would have violated the Chemical Weapons Convention. That would be pointless. Nope, I needed to try something else. There was a huge cockroach in the way.
Leave that radio alone and sort this damn cockroach.
Hello, I'm...
Cockroach! I see the little beggar.
Romanov's, a Russian brand cigarette. The pack was empty. As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist. A crumpled cigarette pack. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored, very exotic. The ashtray was full. I tipped out the matches. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer. That so didn't work. Not a snowball's chance. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer. Could you help me with a vermin problem, please?
I'm sorry, until I kickstart this business, I don't really have time for ancillary projects. I need a brand. A clear message that grabs my key demographic by the lapels and hurls them into my economic bailiwick.
Excuse me?
You know, a name that sounds magical and exotic, that appeals to a yearning they only feel subconsciously.
Do you know anything about Vera's security over there?
Not really. I haven't been here long, but neither have they by the looks of it.
Why do you say that?
Rush setup, new sign, low investment, and no customers except for you.
At least the sign's not buzzing anymore.
I know, and I do appreciate it. And as it says in all the books, if only it spelled out a whole... that would send my business soaring.
I've got an empty matchbox.
Very useful, I'm sure.
I've got some matches.
Always good to have.
Seemed the letters could be moved around. Shame it didn't have the right letters to spell Bassam. I'd have to think of something else. Aha. That seemed like a good name. Hey, Bassam, how about this? I know it's not your name, but...
Aladdin. Very cool. That's a terrific name for my store. Hits every one of my USPs.
Glad you like it.
You're a genius, George. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Aha, Mr. Sтоббарту. What can I do for you?
So what are you selling?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. I sell all those things you can't get anywhere else in Paris.
Like...
English biscuits, Turkish delight, French cassettes, Brazilian Betamax videos.
Do you happen to know a good way to catch a cockroach?
To be honest, George, I'm better at questions on balancing budgets within a liberal economic framework. But as a layman, perhaps I could suggest you trap it? And please, whatever you do, don't squish it.
Why's that?
The entire family will catch the scent and arrive for the funeral.
Ooh, we don't want that.
You need to find a container of some sort. Then I think add this.
Rich tea. Well, what's that, a cookie?
The perfect cockroach biscuit. Dry, dull, unsatisfying, and yet curiously Moorish.
I'll give it a try.
Glad to help.
Thank you for the cookie.
You're very welcome.
I'd made a great home for a little critter. I needed to set the trap down somewhere and wait for my friend to make his move. I set down my clever trap. Now, all I had to do was wait. Gotcha!
You are a gentleman and no mistake. I hate cockroaches.
Always ready to help a damsel in distress.
I bet you are. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Do you know if there's anyone in the office I can talk business with?
Yes, me, chérie. I'm Annette, the manager.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... the gloves. I just thought...
Ah, easy mistake to make. If you haven't been reconstructed, that is.
Oh, but I have been reconstructed. A number of times. From the ground up.
What can I do for you?
There's been a theft at Le Lézard Bleu. A painting's been stolen.
Shame. Still, I'm sure you'll get over it.
I believe your company set up the security.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Didn't.
Did.
I've got all day.
But I didn't. It says here that Vera was hired to do the security at the gallery. Didn't do a very good job, did you?
Where did you get that?
At the gallery.
That job was signed off. You can't say we were to blame.
I was getting a bad feeling. The place looked like a front, and the only person there wasn't helping. Maybe the office itself could give me more information.
Are you done? Only I want to listen to this next race.
I caught the cockroach. Look, isn't he a sweetie?
Ah! Keep it away from me!
Do you recognize it?
Oof! That would take the hair off your legs. I had a boss who wore that. Know what I mean?
Do these clippers look familiar?
Yes. I mean, no. Why should they look familiar? No, thanks.
I've got some matches.
Yes, I saw you pick them up. Keep them. I can't afford to smoke anymore.
I've got a cookie.
Those dry things are disgusting.
Thanks.
Look, do you mind not touching the office equipment?
Annette's peripheral vision was, quite simply, astounding. The Vera phone. All expenses had been spared.
Do you mind? I'm listening to the race.
Annette was watching me like a hawk.
Yes?
Are you betting on a horse?
No, I just like hearing the sound of hooves.
Oh, well, that's unusual.
Don't be an idiot. I got 50 euros on Lucky Break.
Ah, well, I hope you win.
So do I, chérie. So do I. Yeah, you've shown me already.
Thanks.
Please stay on the other side of the counter.
It was like she had some kind of psychic power. She could just feel what I was trying to do.
Hello, Vera Security. We make you secure. Wrong number again. Damn nuisance calls.
I wanted to see what secrets the book might contain. There was a photo. Of course, I grabbed it. A very bad photo of Lane and Annette. That guy sure got around. Recognize this?
Hey, that's my photo.
That's you with Lane, I believe.
So, what if it is?
What is he to you?
Oh, my Hector. That's what he is. My little Hector.
Yeah, I thought you said you had nothing to do with the gallery.
Look, here's how it is. I've only been there a few weeks. I had nothing to do with that gallery job. I just delivered the paperwork.
So, who's the manager before you?
I don't know. She just, one day, didn't come in for work. I shouldn't be talking to you. The boss told me to keep my mouth shut. What can I do for you?
So, what happened on your date with Lane?
I'm not sure I'd call it a date.
You can do better than that, Annette.
Here, are you asking me out?
No, I meant, tell me more.
Oh, like that is it? Want the details, do you?
No. Look, let's just move on, okay? Annette, could I just have a quick look in your back office?
What do you take me for?
What? No. I mean, can I look in there?
Oh, I see. No, you can't. It's private.
The boss. Have you got his number or address?
No, I've forgotten it. I mean, I never knew it.
Annette, a serious crime has been committed. You're in a lot of trouble.
I had nothing to do with it. Look, I need this job. I need the money. Anyway, it's only a silly old painting. No one got hurt.
The gallery owner was shot.
Badly?
Yeah, he's pretty dead.
Oh.
This is a murder investigation. Now, who's your boss?
I don't know. Honest, he faxes me if he wants anything.
He. Who's he?
I've never seen him, never met him. Don't make trouble for poor Annette.
Thanks. I was pretty sure Annette had told me all she was going to. She sounded scared. Time to put the thumb screws on Lane, and I knew just how. Time to confront Lane. The gallery was sealed off. The place looked empty. Lane wasn't exactly easy to miss, and it looked like he wasn't around. The door was locked and sealed off with police tape. I needed to find Lane, and I was sure he wasn't in there. Hi.
Monsieur?
I'm looking for Mr. Lane. Has he been here?
Ah, yes, monsieur. He came by earlier. Told me he was off to console Henri's widow. I hope she's out.
Hi.
Monsieur?
Are you sure Lane's gone to visit Henri's widow?
Yes, that's what he told me.
Do you recognize the woman in this photo?
She was here the other night with Lane. They sneaked away to the gallery together, without paying their bill.
My suspicions of Lane were mounting, but I didn't really think he had it in him. You want a cookie?
You misunderstand the concept of the café, monsieur.
Look what I've got.
Monsieur, please. If the health inspector sees that, I'll be closed down.
So Lane was consoling the widow. What a big heart that guy had. Did he have a grand scheme or just loose morals?
Hello?
This is George Sтоббарту. May I come up?
I'm sorry, this is a very inconvenient time. Come back later.
I know that's you, Mr. Lane. I need to talk to you. Mr. Lane, does the name Annette mean anything to you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I need to talk to Madame Dubois.
I'm sure it can wait.
Mm-hmm. If you don't let me in, I'll tell the police about your interesting connection to the security company.
All right then. Come up, but make it brief.
Dear Lord, George, you have a worse timing.
Is this a bad time to accuse you of lying?
What do you want?
I've just come from Vera's security.
So?
Tell me about Annette.
Who?
From Vera Security.
I don't know any Annette.
What do you know about the owner of Vera Security?
I've never had the pleasure.
Do you know this company?
Yes. Henri hired them to do the security setup.
Is that all?
Yes. What do you mean?
Now here's someone you'll get along with, Lane. Trevor, meet Lane. Lane, Trevor.
Why on earth do you have a cockroach in a matchbox?
So he can see the world and help me in times of need.
You have a vivid imagination, Sтоббart. One day perhaps your other mental faculties will catch up. No thanks.
Rich tea cookie?
But it's broken in half.
Yeah, so only half the calories.
Very droll, Sтоббart.
I'm surprised you let your conquests keep souvenirs.
Oh. Where did you get that?
Annette lent it to me.
Quit waving it around, for God's sake.
Come on, Lane. Tell me about Annette.
All right. I had a fling with her, okay? Now keep your voice down, please.
And you two fixed the security for the robbery?
No, nothing like that. Anyway, the fling was a mistake. She turned out to be rather needy.
I believe you. You're not a criminal, just a lecherous old man.
Less of the old, if you don't mind. As it happens, I make a lot of women happy.
Especially when you leave them. Can you tell me anything about the owner of Vera?
Annette told me he's some angry-looking Russian chap.
Okay, Lane. Take off.
You can't tell me what to do.
You want me to show Bijou this picture?
All right, I'm going. You haven't heard the last of me, Sтоббart.
Promise?
And give me that photo.
If Lane was telling the truth, that meant that Annette was lying. She said she'd never met the owner and was very keen to get rid of me. I wondered if she was hiding something interesting in that back office.
Are you going to introduce yourself properly?
Pleased to make your acquaintance, madame. My name's George Sтоббart.
Call me Bijou. Hello, young man. Such a delight to have a new visitor. What can I do for you?
I'm from the insurance company. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Henri, my poor sauvage. He died in his prime.
Could I just ask you a few questions?
Well, why not? A little company might just pep me up, as you Americans might say.
Henri was very brave at the gallery. He tried to stop the thief and paid the ultimate price.
Henri was my lion and my little pussycat.
How are you coping?
I'm still trying to take it in, chérie.
Can you tell me about the gallery? Was the business doing well?
The gallery was Henri's baby. He never spoke to me about it.
So you weren't involved?
Not at all. Business is not my thing.
Your record player seems to be stuck on the same song.
Yes, this song gives me great comfort. It reminds me of Henri.
Bijou, I think someone involved with the gallery helped the thief. It wasn't Hector Lane. He's not devious enough.
But who else?
I don't know. But I will get to the bottom of it, I promise you. Do you know this company, Vera Security?
No, I don't. I've never heard of them.
Does this smell good to you?
It's heavenly, isn't it? Henri loved it. So?
Hey, this might cheer you up. Say hello to Trevor.
A cockroach?
I prefer the word pal.
And I prefer the word pest. Please never show it to me again.
Rich tea?
Why is it broken?
I was feeding it to a cockroach.
I think perhaps I'll pass. No, thank you. So?
Thank you for your help, Bijou.
My pleasure, young man. Do come back any time.
Bijou appeared to know nothing. I still couldn't discount Lane. Annette, on the other hand, had lied about Vera Security's owner. Henri was now dressed in a cheap suit. On balance, I prefer the waistcoat. Night was falling. Annette would have left for the evening. It was time to pay a visit to Vera Security. The empty mall was lit by bright moonlight, the perfect ambiance for a little detective work. I wanted a good look at that back office. I just had to find a way in. There was no way I could force the shutter open with my bare hands. I needed to find another way. There was an electrical box up there, but I couldn't reach it from the ground. The girder was too high for me to reach. I popped the lid open. Inside was an aircon unit and, bingo, the master controls for the shutters. It was the master controller for the shutters. The wire connected the power supply to the aircon. It was the motor that operated the shutters. A small piece of wire. I needed a better idea. In the drawer was a single Q-tip. It was my lucky day. It hadn't been used. The room was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. It wasn't fair to wake Nico for something so trivial. In the corner of the room was a pizza delivery scooter, just like the one the killer had escaped on. Oil had dripped from the scooter onto the floor. There was a letter jammed in the shredder. The shredder was jammed. I tried to free the gears, but they were jammed solid. Its service was long overdue. That was never going to happen. That wouldn't work. I smeared some oil onto the cotton bud. I smeared the gears with oil. It was time to see what was in the letter. It was the letter from Henri confirming that Vera Security had the contract for the exhibition. And it also revealed who was in charge at Vera, a guy called Medovsky. At first glance, it all seemed pretty run-of-the-mill. But why was Henri thanking Medovsky for being generous? And why was he pleased to represent him? Maybe Medovsky was the owner we'd been looking for. It didn't add up. I had a gut feeling. There was something fishy going on. I grabbed the paperclip. The box was empty. Annette had cleared everything out. Just mess and empty boxes. The air vent had a tiny catch on the side. The paperclip was perfect for the job. There was definitely something in there. Now, what are you? Gotcha. Well, would you believe it? It was a gun, and very likely the one that had been used to shoot Henri.
Aha! So, what have we here? L'Américain, Monsieur Sтоббарту. You will rue the day you crossed my path, because now you are caught in my net like a little red herring.
Inspector, I'm investigating the robbery.
No, monsieur. You are breaking and entering an innocent storeroom.
I found the murder weapon.
Found? No. Planted? Yes. Mou, arrest this man and take him to the station. I shall squeeze you, Monsieur Sтоббарту, until your pips squeak.
Thanks, Ronnie. I just wish I'd got some better shots of the killer.
Are you kidding? That stuff from the hip is very dramatic. You did good, Nico.
So, what's next?
Get me an interview with the owner, and you've got Sunday's front page.
I'm on it already.
Keep me up to speed. Let me know before you write anything up, okay?
Of course. Oh, gotta go. Someone at the door. Monsieur?
Are youNicole Collar?
Yes, can I help you?
I need to sit down.
You'd better come in.